It is time to get to work. Book. So if you're in the planner community, you know that spring is busy time for a lot of new planners coming out. Hobonichis issued their spring start planners. There is always big excitement about new Erin Condren planners that come out at this time. And I began to get caught up in that excitement. And even though I don't use larger planners like Erin Condren, those 7x9 planners that I know a lot of people in planner community use, it did remind me of a planner that I used several years ago and really enjoyed. And it is Get to Work Book Planner. This planner was created by Elize Joy blog, and I initially found her on Instagram because she is so creative, so thoughtful, just such a wonderful person to follow and be inspired by. And then I found out that she had a planner, and she herself said that after 15 years of looking for a perfect planner, she just went ahead and created her own, and this is it. So I found her many years ago, and besides being attracted to her creativity and just the way she views the world, I was really impressed and excited to find that she created this planner, because in that moment of my life, I was looking for something to organize my life, but I also wanted to be something minimal, straightforward, and peaceful, because I had a lot going on and I was really drawn to things that were clean and minimal. And I believe so was she when she created it, because this planner was and is everything that I would like to have in a bigger 7x9 planner. So let's review it. When you get your planner, it arrives with some extra things like this journal card that says big things happen one day at a time. That's kind of her thing. And then you also get this little sticker. I just pulled it off and put it on the clear backing just to save it, because it says, "This is for the goal setters, list makers, go-getters, dreamers, planners, learners, and others. Let's get to work." So I really love that. And also you get a little card here. It's a 10% off coupon, because Elize also makes other related items. She makes like a bigger calendar, she makes to-do sheets, she makes project planning sheets and other things. So if you order it, you will get your discount card, and then you can get other things that you like from her shop. It is on her website, gettoworkbook.com, I believe. I'll put a link to it in the description. And everything that she designed is very thoughtful, as like I said, very clean line and minimal. So let's open the planner itself. So what I love about this planner the most, as you will see in a minute, that it is all black and white. It is a very beautiful, very clean, and it's basically like a blank canvas, if you may. You can use it as is because you want some, clean and minimal and peace in your life, or you can decorate it up whichever way you want. One of the thoughtful things that I love about this planner, and you will see when I page through it, is that every month has a title page to it, and each page has an art piece on it. It's a graphic art piece, and you can see like a little bit of a representation of it here in a smaller form, and it's also explaining what each of them actually means, like what she meant by that specific design. So you get this card inside of your planner that will explain to you what she meant for each title page. And when you open it, the cover is this really thick, sturdy, heavy duty or cardboard, I believe. It's very sturdy. It will not bend, will not budge. It is thoughtfully designed, and I love that you literally have no problem opening the cover or paging through the planner, because it uses this wired coil. I believe this is what's called wire O. So it's not continuous coil, it's coil that closes on one side at the back of the page. I'll show you a little bit later on. But the way the holes are punched here through the pages makes it no problem of just paging through it with ease. The pages don't get stuck, which is something that usually drives me crazy in coiled planners. This paper is nice and thick, but not too thick. It has a little bit of tooth, so it's really nice to write on. So when you open here, you have your year at a glance. Now I forgot to mention, this particular one is January to December, so this is 2023. I know we are in May now, but I was able to get it for such a good price because we are partially through the year, and I figured I can use the rest of it still. I can also use the pages in the beginning for note taking, and also one of the primary reasons I got it is because I want to design some stickers for 7x9 planners, and I want to see how it would fit in here and how it would play with this particular planner. So now when you open the planner, originally you have a year at a glance. She also makes these planners in July to June, so if you are interested, you can look at her website for planners that will be coming out for summer. And you have this year at a glance, and you have the rectangle for each month of the year, and this is so you can write out whatever you want, right? You can write out goals and plans for each month. You can write out birthdays. If you have any kind of big vacations coming up or big events or something like that, you can write them out here. And I do like that it's not lined, because then you can put whatever size, messaging in here if you want. You can write with small letters and fill it up, or you can do one thing out of it. You can, put sticker over it, things like that. So as you can see, it's all in this really nice, clean, minimal, in black and white and light gray. So then we're moving on, and we are on the first month of the year, or if you get the July to June one, you will have the first month of that calendar. You have your monthly spread, so every month we'll have this. So on this side you have a page where you reflect and set the goals for the following month. So you have last month's wins, still in progress, to let go of, to think on, to work on, and to complete. So you can basically reflect the month before, fill this in, and prepare for the coming month. So as I mentioned, each month has an artwork on it, and I believe every year it changes. It's still these kind of a graphic minimal designs, but I believe every year you get a different ones. So this is your month of January here, and as you will see, this is actually more than just title page in your planner, because Elize, she is so creative and thoughtful. This is actually made on a really hard cardstock, and there is a perforation here. So after you're done with your planner, you can actually tear this off and frame them as inspirational sayings. And as I said, every month has them, so you have 12 of these real inspirational sayings. So when you cut them, they will be perfect squares, and you can frame them, you can pin them to the board, whatever you want to do. But I think it's such a cool way to not just embellish your planner, but also give you something long lasting that you can use after your planner is done. And of course you have a little calendar here, and this month is all about, so again you can put your plans or your vision or manifestation kind of affirmation here of what you want this month to be. So then when you open, you have a project page, because Elize is a businesswoman, and this book is called Get to Work book. So this is, I don't want to say just for entrepreneurs, but it has this useful focus for those who want to achieve goals, who run business, to have projects, right? To use this planner for that. So this page has a graph paper on it. I believe it's like a 3mm grid. You have date, you have project, and because it's a graph paper, you can draw it up if you want to planning, if you're planning your renovation, if you're planning a house, if you're planning a party. It's really useful to have the grid, because then you can outline your list, you can draw things, you can plan, you can mind map. So this basically page is for whatever project you want to do in this month. And then there are tabs here. They are reinforced with a clear cover, so no matter how many times you page them, they're going to withstand, and they're not gonna flake and fall apart. And then once you go into the month itself, there is a monthly calendar here. Again, very minimal, very clean. You have your days of the week. It is a Sunday start. I don't remember, I believe she might have both Monday and Sunday. Of course, you have your month of January specified here. The tab has name of the month on both sides, so then no matter which side your tab is on, you can see where you're at. And then you have a calendar here for previous month and the future month, and you have space here for notes. So again, because you have this calendar view, you can write out what important events you have, birthdays, I don't know, weddings, vacations, days off, paid days, doctor's appointment. And then this note space is just line blank note space. So you can use it again to write out what plans you have, what to-dos, items to be finished up that month, things like that. And again, as I mentioned, as you can see, it's very clean and minimal. So if you looking for a planner that's like this, that just lets you breathe and doesn't have any color scheme that might kind of like become overwhelming the way sometimes planners are to me, you can use it as is. If you want to embellish it, you can always use stickers to cover the days of the week tags. You can put washi tapes here, you can put washi tapes here, feel free. As I mentioned, paper is really nice and thick. And then when you page, then you get into your weekly view. And this planner is a vertical weekly. She doesn't carry the horizontal ones. And I know a lot of people in the planner community do prefer a vertical. So you have every column here is for the day of the week, and this week is a Monday start. So your calendar view Sunday start, your weeklies are Monday start. To me, that's something that I do love. I grew up with Monday start week, and to me, especially when it comes to work, because it's kind of like a work business oriented planner, weeks do start on Monday. And to me, that's kind of like, I know that my weekend is here, 2 days together, like this is my weekend plans and this is my work week plans. Again, if this is something that you don't like, you can always cover it up, right, like you would do in any other planner. On this side here, there is a bar, and it says here action items for this week, and then you have 1, 2, 3, so kind of like your top 3 for the week. You have this little square here. You can either put the date or by which you want to finish it. You can use it for a check mark, and you can write in your important items for this week, right? You can say 1, 2, 3 or check mark in and write in here what you need. So these are your top 3 for the week. Now you have also same structure to support that for every day. Every day you also have top 3 of the day. They're not marked down. There is nothing written here, so you can use it the way you want. You can do your top 3. So they are these light gray and white boxes here. As you can see, there are 3 boxes with dots. So again, you can use 1, 2, 3 here. You can use them as check marks, and you can put either your top 3 to-dos for the day, or you can use them for 3 things. For example, drink water, walk 10,000 steps, and sleep 8 hours, something like that, right? So you can use them as to-dos or top goals for the day, or things to do, or habits to maintain. And then you have the rest of your day. The days are not timed. There are no time stamps here, but there are enough lines for your hours of the day. So this way it's structured enough, but also flexible enough. If you're that kind of a person that doesn't like the timestamps, or you're not tied to them because your day is more or less open, you can use them for the items that you need to do, things that's happening. You can take up more than one line with an item you're thinking about, or if you do want to have timestamps, you can write them out. Or I believe some makers make a timestamp like a sticky strips you can put here to give yourself that timeline. But I thought it was very thoughtful, because there are some days when timestamps are meaningless to me, and sometimes I would like to have them, but I'll just write out what time it is, approximately. Like if I have a 2 p.m. appointment, about midday I will say 2 p.m. doctor's appointment. So you have that column for each day of the week. And another thing that I like about this layout is that the columns are white gray, so you can literally see where one day ends, another one starts, without it being too overwhelming, right? Because the color is so light, but you can see where each day is delineated, and it goes through the rest of the week. And before I move on, another thing that I really love, because if you watched any of my videos, I'm a big fan of graph paper, because it gives such a structure and just peace to my mind. And there is a whole bunch of it here on the bottom, so you can use this bottom section again for your project tracking, for your time tracking, for your habit tracking, because you already have a grid, so you can color in little squares or strips. You can use this to create with bullet point lists. You can decorate it if you want. And this planner, what is great about it is that even though Elize created her own planner that worked for her, this planner, the columns are the standard width that a 7x9 planners have, other planners have. So this one is a 1.5 inch wide column. So if you like using stickers like the ones that I use in Erin Condren and planners like those stickers will fit and work with this planner. So you can notice that these days here on the top are light gray and this one is a darker one. It is because this is January calendar, but there are a lot of December dates in it. So Elize included those in case if you want to kind of a pre-plan, and then once the actual month start, then these days are in bolded fonts. So right here we're in actual January, and all your headers here are in a darker black font. And then you have same layout like I showed you before. For this particular week, you have your space for 3 top items of the week or whatever you want to use these rectangles for. You have vertical weeks that start with Monday, and you have the graph paper here on the bottom for whatever you need to use it for. So then we're gonna move on to next pages in January. So it continues the same way. Very clean, minimal. I know I already said it several times, but that's what I really loved about it when I found this planner. Some structure, but not too tight, that can accommodate my things. If I was working on the project, like writing a book, or project at work, I could write my notes here. I can write my appointments here, a little bit of memory keeping, and I really love that it's so clean and allows you to express yourself, right? Again, clean canvas. So then you arrive at the end of the month, and just like with December, because we have one day from February in here, it's Wednesday, February the 1st, it is done in a lighter gray color, so then you know that it's a following month. It's a date that doesn't belong to this month. So this is where this month ends, right? You don't have a full spread, it ends where the month ends. And then here in the end of the month, you have a big sheet of, again, graph paper, and it has a to-do square here, so it allows you kind of reflect on the previous month and start planning out things for the following month. So Elize is very big on project planning and, you know, achieving things to planning them out, that she actually has a separate booklet of just project planning sheets, and they're, I believe, similar to this. So on this side you have this graph paper here with your to-do, and then once you figure out what is that you want to do, you can write them out here, you can mind map it here, and then on this side you have the actual project planning sheet. It's really nice. You don't see it often in planners, if ever, actually. So over here you have your project layout. You have the date that you're starting, you have your deadline date, and then you have these rectangles, the squares you can use in whichever way you want. They all have this little square in the corner. Again, you can use it for check mark, you can use it for a date that you want to be completed by. You can just enumerate them, so then you know, like, this is project step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see they are different sizes because this is like your main step, right? Your action items here. Then you can break them up more, and then you can break them up into smaller tasks, and on and on. So this is really a nice project planning page where you can really envision and break down your project into smaller manageable pieces. And then again, just like in the beginning of the month, you have this page of graph paper where it says date and project, and then when you flip it over, you have the month reflection. So again, just like before, you have this page to reflect on the month that just passed. Again, last month's wins, still in progress, to let go of, to think on, to work on, and to complete. So it's really nice to kind of like organize your thoughts and projects and things that are going on in your life before you move on to next month. And then you have month of February starting up, and this one says start again, because let's be honest, we all know that in the month of January we have a tendency of like having all these plans and starting things and then kind of like dropping them midway. So when you arrive at the beginning of February, nice reminder to start again. And just like January and the following monthly title pages, this one is a nice hard cardstock here. that has a perforation here, so you can tear it off, cut it this way, and make an art piece to hang on your wall, to include on your cork board, to give someone with a book or something like that. It's really, really thoughtful. And then we have the page for the project. Again, it is part of the month's starting page. Here you have February tab, February, and then we open to a month view. Again, you have your month name here, previous month, future month. You have notes here that are lined, and then you have your calendar here with days of the week written on the top. Sunday start with all the little dates in here. Again, you can use it as is, you can decorate it, dress it up, dress it down, right? And then when you go into February, just like in the previous month, the dates that don't belong to this month are in a lighter color, and the ones that belong to the month, they are in a darker color. Again, you have white, gray, and so on. You have your top 3 for the day and graph paper on the bottom. So basically, this is how every month is constructed. This is a 12-month planner. I believe all her planners are 12 months. It's just you have January start or you have the July start ones. And each month, again, like I said, has an art piece. So for March, you have the only way out is through. Then for month of April, you have the progress counts. So very inspirational, but without being overwhelming, right? It doesn't tell you like, do it, go do it, but it's more encouraging, which I love. Then May is take a deep breath. Very applicable. We are in May now, and let me tell you, I'm taking deep breath left and right. It's just been that kind of a month. And then in June, we have find your next step. In July, we have do the first thing first. Then in August, we have less consuming, more creative. And then in September, remember why you started. Very important, right? Because like towards the end of the year, we start running out of steam, especially after summer. We're like, some of us may be well relaxed and some of us can be slightly overwhelmed because like back to school and summer is over. So definitely sometimes we need a reminder, why are we even doing this thing? In October, we have ask for more, especially help. And I know I hate asking for help, and a lot of us as well, so it reminds you, ask for help. Today is a new day. And then in December, you have celebrate your wins. So very nice, very minimal, streamlined, clean planner. As you can see, there are no holidays delineated, so you can put your own. Some people don't like when holidays are on a calendar because they take up space, they obstruct, kind of steal the space from your rectangle for your dates. So these ones, again, you can do whatever you need with them. And then once you get to the end, you have extra project pages. So let's get to the end of December. So again, you have reflection for December, and then you have these pages. So these pages are all project pages like we saw in the month prior, which on this side you have date and the project name, and you can do your mind map, your list, like just brainstorm, brain dump. And then on here you have the beginning and end date or deadline for your project. You have a little bit of graph paper here, and you have these boxes that help you break down your project into smaller manageable pieces. And then you have just more of these because like I said, this planner is focused a lot on getting the work done. So whatever that means to you, it can be work around the house. You can have a house renovating project. You might have a wedding that has a lot going on, and you want to make sure that, this month I'm planning, my guest list. This month I'm planning my menu. This month I'm planning my flowers, dresses, whatever. In your personal life, on the other hand, you can use this planner for your actual work. So you have actual project, writing code, writing a book, constructing something for a client, right? Planning out their house, from your side. And then after your project sheet's done, you have these kind of like the to-do sheets, and this is more for notes, brainstorming, brain dumps, things like that, because you have your to-dos, and then the rest of it is just graph paper. So it gives you a lot of room to write, to brainstorm, to make notes, what have you. Once you get to the end, you have your year at a glance for the following year. So here we have 2024. So when your planner ends, it gives you the chance to kind of glance back at your planner for the year that just passed and start planning for the next year. Yes, you will have this also in the next planner you buy, but this lets you kind of like start giving it a thought before the year ends. Again, it gives you every month of the year, January, February, March, and so on. And, it tells you which year it is. And they're all in this gentle gray where you can write with whatever color you write, even with the pencil, you'll be able to see it. But it also delineate the box so you don't feel so lost. Sometimes when I have planners that are all white with just thin lines, I feel sometimes a bit lost, like it's too much space. This one kind of delineates every month for you. And then in the end, you have calendar for that coming year, right? Your full calendar. Again, you can take this page and tear it out and bring it with you to your next planner when you start planning for the following year. And then over here, you have big things happen one day at a time, just like on this journaling card here that I showed you earlier. And then when you get here, you have a pocket here. So it's really nice to have your receipts, photographs, additional plans, any kind of papers, letters, you can put it here and have it inside. And as I mentioned, this coiling here is, I believe, what is called O-ring. As you can see, it is connected right here, so you cannot like uncoil it. Like, for example, you can do, I believe, with Erin Condren's, you would have to put it apart and take pages out, but that if you wanted to like Franken plan this planner. I don't ever do it to planners because I just don't want to mess up what's perfect. The design of the planner, the quality of paper, the sizing of the punch holes versus the coil, the strength and quality of the coil. You have no problem paging pages back and forth. They don't get stuck on it because these coils are straight versus the regular coils, they under angle, right? So you have a little bit of that hang up when you're paging over. I really love it. This planner, as I mentioned, is something that really nice for peace of mind, at least to personality like mine. I thought it was a great idea. I thought it was a great design that lets you use this planner for wherever you need without being constricted or overwhelmed by everything that it offers. And I believe that Elize also uses recycled materials in some of her planners. At one point, she had a design of this planner that had like a craft paper, like a real brown cardboard covers. Those were really cute. So there you have it, Get to Work book. I really like this planner. I'm sure you could tell while I was paging through it. If you're looking for something that's very clean line and minimal, something more project oriented than just a regular planner, something that lets you track your days and your tasks, but also plan ahead and take big dreams and big projects, break them down into smaller pieces, brainstorm them, plan them out, keep track of your progress. As I mentioned, your regular stickers for like Erin Condren planners, regular 7x9 planners will fit in here because it's designed along those lines, but at the same time it offers you something unique, well thought out. As you can see, it's a quality made, so if you've been looking for something that will help you with your plans and goals without kind of overtaking you with its styling or color schemes, Elize makes quality product. She ships your orders really fast. Shipping is very reasonable. The quality of planner is amazing, and I hope that something like that would help you out with your big goals and dreams. If you like these kind of videos, please like, please subscribe, and leave me a note down in the comments below of what 7x9 planners do you love. Do you love minimal, clean line, black and white planners? Do you like colorful ones? What are your favorite brands? And I hope to see you in the next video, and until then, you take care. Bye.